All right, so here's your project paper. It's actually 12 inches by 9 inches. We're only going to use 8 inches by 12 inches, okay? So for your picture, we're going to print a 4-inch by 6-inch photo. We're going to draw a 1/2-inch grid on the actual picture, and then on our project paper, we're drawing a full inch grid. So we're just going to do this together. That way we have it done right. Depending on your picture, if it's a horizontal picture, your grid will lay this way. If it's a vertical picture, your grid will lay vertically. All right? We'll worry about that once we get your picture printed. That may vary for most of you. All right, so with your ruler, lay it down on the bottom so your 0 is at the far left-hand side. We're going to mark every full inch. So I'm going to make a little hash mark at the 1, hash mark at the 2, hash mark at the 3. Draw these lightly so you can go back and erase them later. We're just using the grid as kind of guidelines to draw our outlines and then values. You do not have to mark the 12-inch. That's just going to go to the end of your paper. Some of your papers may not be exactly 12 inches, and that's fine. So rather than drawing a mark at the 12 and having like a tiny little space, we'll just let that box be a little bit bigger. So then, once you finish that, you're just going to slide your ruler vertically. Don't move your paper at all, just move it right up to the top. I like to leave a little bit of space so I can make my marks directly above the numbers and the lines. So again, make sure that if you started on the left with your ruler here, it's lined up the exact same. Go ahead and make your lines at every inch again. Going all the way to 11. Again, I would not mark the 12th. That's just going to be the end of the paper. So you should have marks on the top and the bottom at this point. Is everybody good on the marks? Okay, so now let's flip our paper vertically. And we're going to take our ruler, and this is where you really need to draw lightly. I'm going to draw it dark just so you can see, but lay your ruler to connect the 2 hash marks across from each other, and that way you get a straight, even line. So that way our grid is neat and even. And you're just going to connect every hash mark. So when you're done, it should look like this. You should have 12 rows on your paper. But again, draw yours lightly so we can erase them later. All right, so when you're done, then we're going to do the same thing to the top and the bottom. So lay your ruler across I'm going to start at the top on mine. I'm going to mark every full inch. I'm going to mark until the 8. I'm not going to mark where the 9 marker is. That box will just be a little bit bigger. Now I'm going to move my ruler down to the bottom. And I'm going to do the same thing. Just measuring until the 8. And then I'm going to turn my paper sideways when I have hash marks on the left and on the right. Now I'm just going to lay my ruler to connect those two. Again, to draw a straight, even line. Draw these lightly. Alright, so when you are finished, your paper should be an entire grid. And then there will be part of this that we don't use because our picture will be 4 inches by 6 inches. So we'll go through that more in detail later on.